Dalvin Cook.
That's a cool card.
Yeah.
I think you should give me that card out of principle.
Hell no. No, sir.
You want that Dalvin Cook card? It's gonna take
Rashad White.
yeah, Rashad White in a
Rashad
second.
White card. Yeah, give me a Rashad White card. Yeah, I get it.
Any good? But
Are you guys ready?
ready, man.
Sure.
This your forecast.
Yellow.
Time, baby. There it is.
It's hot take day.
Hot
Yes,
take.
sir.
It's getting spicy in here.
Little
It's
draft
pretty
hot takes, man. Draft right
It's
around the
pretty hot
corner.
today anyway, so. that
What's
makes
hot? It's
sense.
a nice day out.
Yeah.
Time to make it boiling time. You know, I want it to be so hot. You need to open your door, have that cool air hit you as soon as you get inside.
You know.
Good stuff.
I'll start it off then.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. That's a lot of money you gotta pay for to cool it down. You know.
It is.
And we're in my house. So like,
So I gotta pay for the air in here.
We could put a window unit in here.
Double window unit for how hot these takes are about.
yeah,
Baby.
for real. What?
All right, I'm starting then.
Okay.
And we
go
already
ahead.
were talking about this.
Okay.
Travis Hunter is going to be a wide receiver.
That's hot.
Full time,
Full time.
just like
He's a
just
wide
receiver.
That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
Is it up to him or is it up to the organization? Is it what are you saying here?
Well, Nate was bringing it up where he
Mhm.
said he's not. I think the headline was a little bit misleading.
Yeah.
He said something like, "I'm not going to play football if I got to commit to one position."
Right.
But basically, the way I read it was, they were asking him to commit to it, and he didn't want to. But
Yeah.
basically, I'm saying from the coach's perspective,
Yeah.
they're gonna want him to play.
Just one position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think about it like this: they can't even have a kicker/punter in the NFL.
That is really dumb. Like, how can you not train somebody to punt? Like, I could understand kicking being. I mean, both of them are kind of like
So-
one positions.
I've heard the reasoning for both sides of this before, and I kind of go on the side of having a kicker and punter, and it's because if you have one guy doing both and he gets hurt, now you don't have a kicker or a punter.
So.
If your punter gets hurt, okay, your kicker can at least try to punt,
teach your
and vice versa.
teach your backup safety how to do it. What are we talking about here? This is,
I mean, yeah, but it's like
whatever.
your backup safety can probably punt the ball 30 yards.
Okay, well,
Oh.
He's not flipping the field 80 yards.
Yeah, I don't like it.
there was a game, you guys probably don't remember this, the Steelers' long snapper got hurt. So they bring James Harrison in the long snap.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember.
Snaps it right over the punter's head.
Oof.
So, like, you could apply that same argument to that. I don't know. What I'm saying, too, is the second thing is if you're a coach and you're going to want him to... The offense is practicing at the same time as the defense.
Yeah.
If they were if the offense practiced in the morning and the defense practiced at night, you could have Hunter go practice with both of them.
Right.
But like in the NFL, he's only going to.
They
Yeah,
practice.
it's
the
iron
first,
sharpens iron, right? Like
the first team
against first
goes
team.
against the first team.
I've
Yeah.
thought about that a lot about his practices in Colorado and just tried to think about like when does he do which
Well,
as far as like helping the team, you know, like get a look.
Mm.
what I read was he basically practiced with the defense, went to all the defensive meetings and all that stuff, and when he went into the huddle on offense, they basically just told him what route to run.
Gotcha.
So to me, that's not going to work in the NFL the way
No, that would
how
never work in the
complicated
NFL.
the offenses are.
Yeah, I mean, how many? Especially like, imagine he goes to a team like the Bengals or something. Like, obviously he won't, but a team like that has a quarterback who's going to make 4 checks at the line every snap.
Yeah.
You know,
Right,
like
yeah.
who has full control of the offense, and
Mhm.
it's his team. He's doing what he wants.
Right.
You have to know everything. You
Yeah.
can't just know what route you have to run. You have to know what route all 4 spots from the wide receiver spot are going to be running in case he needs to motion you or something.
Mhm.
Right.
So it's tough, but I was listening to Steve Smith do his breakdown on Travis Hunter, and he talked about just the workload aspect of it, and said, in his opinion, going from doing what he was doing in college at Colorado and all the meetings and the playbooks and everything, and trying to do that at the NFL, he said it's probably 3 to 5 times the workload in his opinion. Like it's you start your day and you end your day, and you did nothing but football if that's what you're doing, 7 days a week.
Right.
Like he would have to dedicate every moment of his life to it. And it does seem like Travis Hunter's that kind of guy. Everything he's talked about is
Yeah, oh,
he
yeah.
means business,
Yeah.
and it's just football.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, he seems committed to it, but I'll at least say I think he's a way better talent wide receiver than corner. So if he had to pick one, I would rather it be wide receiver, especially for fantasy. So.
Well, if you follow the money in the NFL,
Yeah.
Steve,
That's what I would be about. I'll be about making money, and the wide receiver is going to make you more money than a quarterback. So.
Yeah, and I do think what you said about the headline makes a little sense. Like, why would Travis Hunter ever commit to saying something before the draft, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's don't pigeonhole yourself into one thing. Let the team draft you, have your discussion with your team, and then you can say what's right for you and your team at that moment. But
Yeah, you definitely don't want to make any drastic claims, especially before it hurts your draft stock. Unless he doesn't care, he's just like, I just want to play on a team that will utilize me both ways. I mean, that.
I don't think Travis Hunter would like your hot take.
No, I don't think so. But
Hey,
like,
that's a cold take, brother. I'm going number 1 overall, and I'm playing 3
Yeah.
positions.
the funny thing was like what you guys were saying. You didn't want to like cause a stir, I guess, kind of. But then the way they ended up printing it caused a
It's
huge
still
stir.
caused-
So
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yep.
anyway, I tried to convince Jude the whole way to Home Depot about this.
Yeah.
Jude is standing by that he's going to play both positions. And it's an awesome dream, man. It's an
It is
awesome
an
story,
awesome
and
dream.
everybody's rooting for him to be able to do both.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I think
either.
he will play both, just not full time. I don't know what the spread looks like, but I do think we'll see him on both sides of the football.
I
His
hope
rookie
he plays both sides, but
It'd be cool.
I don't see it happening.
It might be kind of like the reverse of Dion, where Dion
Yeah.
played a little bit of offense, but
I think
he's
it's
not-
tougher to do it that way, and I think that's why so many people have projected it as he's a corner with Mixons on receivers, just because we've never seen it the opposite way of what Dion did. But I do think that talent-wise, that's the way they should use him to get maximum potential out of him. But
Yeah. I hope they can, find some way to do it.
that's all I got.
That's
Perfect.
all I got.
I can hit you with one, man. We can stay right at the top of the draft.
Okay.
Cam Ward is not drafted by the Titans.
I hope
Oh,
not.
it's all a big charade.
Well, he could still be number 1.
Yeah.
I just don't think the Titans are picking
Oh.
Cam Ward. And right now, I think it's minus money for Cam Ward to be the first overall selection at least.
So hey, that's a good opportunity for you then.
He's a heavy favorite to be the number one pick, but I don't
Well,
know if it's the Titans. I mean,
I don't know if you can make a bet to say that Titans will draft him.
yeah, I'm not sure.
You can
if I
definitely do
find
it for
that
what,
line.
who's going to be first overall.
Dude, I've heard you can bet on anything. That's what
You-
I've heard.
you find
You
the
pretty
right
much
people.
can.
Pretty much,
You
yeah.
gotta find the right guy though.
For the Masters, so shout out Rory McIlroy, got it done.
Finally,
I was rooting against him. I needed Bryson to win me some money, but once he was out of it, I was rooting for Rory. You could have bet on which sleeve armhole goes on first for the winner, the right or the left hand.
I'm gonna come.
Left hand
did
first.
you make any money on that bet?
I didn't bet. I didn't know what to do.
I wonder if you could bet on whether he actually stayed for the ceremony or not.
Yeah. I don't think he was going anywhere. I think he was probably soaking that moment in. How do you guys feel about that, though? Do you guys think that the Titans could pass on Cam Ward and trade out?
It is a hot take, but I do like it. I don't want the Titans to draft him. They have enough problems. A quarterback that might not be that good is already what they have. Like Will Levis might be okay, but he I don't know, he might be good.
I think Levis is garbage, but I do think that there's some opportunity there when you're at the number 1 spot, and it's not like the golden god, being handed to you.
Exactly.
It's like, I have the number 1 pick. Let me just get max value, and we'll work around it. And just off quarterback another time. So.
And like I said, they got more problems than just quarterback. Like they got a lot of holes to fill, and so dropping back and getting some more value, that's kind of what they need.
Yeah.
This is the worst year to have the first pick,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, it's not great.
Look, the last couple of years, Caleb, everybody's excited about him. Even going
Caleb,
back to-
Bryce, Trevor.
yeah.
all
Yeah,
of
I mean,
them.
everybody's been excited about these guys, and each class has at least provided us one really special talent for the most part. It's been pretty solid. So
If the owner of the Titans or the GM was playing Dynasty, what he would be doing is taking Carter and then hoping to get Arch Manning next year.
right,
Yeah.
something like that. I mean, and there's even some merit to something like that. Like Abdul Carter has the injury, but some people would call him the best talent in the draft before that. I was in that camp where I thought he should be the number 1 pick before the stuff about the injury came out and missing time. But that could be like a double win for them, right? Like if Carter misses games and he can't actually help them win, it's just helping their odds for next year, getting a higher pick for that quarterback spot,
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
they have that supreme talent in Abdul Carter sitting waiting to play. So
Yeah.
Well, what chance do they have winning games if Will Levis throwing
right, it's
being the QB anyway?
None.
You don't know.
maybe they sign Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
Well, if you're
Surprise
trying to
team
lose-
sneaks in.
If you're trying to lose, I don't know if that's what you would do.
So Calvin Ridley's got to catch some passes, man. They're paying him too much money to catch 8 balls this season, right?
Can't really lose a bump.
All right, your turn, Jacob. What do you
Uh,
got for us?
I don't know how hot it is. I think there's a toss-up between. Well, I think most people put Ted McMillan as the first wide receiver. I think it's going to be not Isaiah Bond. Who's
Golden.
the Golden? Yeah, Matthew Golden. I think he's going to be. All these teams, they just love speed. It is so annoying. They do the same thing every year, where they just say, "That guy's fast. We're going to go with him because no matter what, we can't lose." Like thinking that they can't lose, but normally every time they do. But I don't. Yeah, like I said, I don't know how hot it is because I think there's a toss-up after Travis Hunter. It's like kind of still a toss-up, but like Tet seems to be, and then I've even seen Burden go higher.
Yeah.
But I think Golden will be the first wide receiver off the board. Full wide receiver, I should say, because Travis Hunter probably will.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I don't mind that. I do think we've seen players like Matthew Golden just have crazy rises before, but his is like astronomical,
Yeah.
right? Like I feel like before the college football playoffs, he was like 4th, 5th round talent, and now all of a sudden, like you said, it's almost a toss-up.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably going to be a first-round pick. He
Yeah.
could be the first like full receiver taken off the board, which would
yeah.
just be mind-blowing from where we were on this guy 4 months ago, But
He did good in 2023, though, right?
yeah, he had a solid year. It's just, it was a little off and on, inconsistent.
Yeah.
And then he just caught fire during the playoffs. And obviously, those are the big games against the top level competition and stuff. So,
The crazy part is, I would still probably like Ibuka like over a lot of those guys.
yeah.
Like I would probably want Tet first and Ibuka second, but like honestly, I wouldn't even be mad to take Ibuka over Tet. But like all these guys, they just get so. Draft is so dumb. It's so dumb. It's all
Well,
like
so you have
name
to
value.
balance potential, where your team's at, your timeline, how good they are right now,
Yeah.
what you need. But that brings me to my next hot take, Jake.
Oh gosh.
Emeka Egbuka scores more fantasy points than any other wide receiver in this draft class this year.
Honestly, I was thinking about saying the same thing.
More than Hunter, more than Golden, more than Ted.
You know, I'm on board.
You can include any of them. I think he'll score the most
You know, I'm on
fantasy
board.
points.
Who's the best opportunity for that? Patriots, right?
I mean, yeah, but obviously, like he's not going forward. But
Nah.
I don't know. I actually think
Well, he could go
his
to the
his
second.
best case scenario is going somewhere like I don't know, Seattle, right? Where
Mhm.
like they actually need another outside guy.
Mhm.
Cooper Kupp just can't play outside anymore, in my opinion. He's almost limited to having to play in the slot. JSN can play everywhere, but I like Egbuka as a compliment more than like a target hog, number one receiver, alpha guy. And I think for fantasy purposes, like that's going to help him this season
absolutely,
as
yeah.
a polished. I think he's a very polished receiver already, and he's kind of hit his potential. But his potential is a very good NFL receiver. He just doesn't have that excellency to him. So that'll make him go probably to a better spot for fantasy because he's more likely to end up with a team with a quarterback rather than if Golden or Tet sneak into the top 10, they're going to a worse team.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but a lot of it would be kind of surprising, like the Raiders or some team that doesn't have any wide receivers, like they go to Tet, and
right.
it would be surprising. But like honestly, I could still see it. Even I could see Ibuka being a number 3 or a number 2 and still beating Tet where he's number 1 or number 2.
Right.
Like,
I feel like he's definitely the most pro ready.
Yeah.
So
For
you
sure,
could say
right?
you could say he's scoring the most points for a rookie,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you would agree that landing spot matters a lot for that.
Yeah, 100%.
But he might not have the most max value, but
Right, yeah.
at least in the immediate, he's ready to go.
Yeah, I think if you're like a team picking in the late first or something, and
Oh,
Egbuka goes
yeah.
to a good spot, it's like, oh, I can add somebody that can help my team right away, and they're pro ready, and I don't think they're going to lose value.
yeah.
And in my opinion, if you draft somebody in the late first, early second of your rookie draft, and they just hold value for a year, that's a hit.
Yeah.
Like I didn't die. I didn't waste my pick on Quentin Johnston. You know,
Right.
it's like thank God.
Well, like I just did his mock draft, and like he was sitting there at 132 for the Eagles, and I'm like, yeah, like I'll
Like yeah, right.
screw
Like,
it, I'll
and
take
honestly,
it.
if he's sitting there at pick 32, I think there's a chance Philly takes him.
Yeah,
I really
I
do.
can see
You know,
that.
and even that probably wouldn't be the best landing spot for him for
No,
this
for
season.
fantasy, no.
That'd be kind of rough, but
Is he going to get on the field over Yehan?
Yeah, and I would hope so.
Yehan better not even be on the bench, man. He better be in the stands with a foam
For
finger
real.
on.
Yeah. Hey,
When do the Commanders pick?
We're 29.
I don't think he makes it past them.
You don't think?
I don't think so. They don't have somebody like that on the team.
They don't. Well, they do. It's Terry McLaurin, but
I guess he's. I was talking more of like a. But
yeah, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what I would do with Commanders.
it's tough because they do
Running back.
need another receiver. Like if they're looking at the future at all, right?
Yeah,
They're 1 and 2 are both 30-some years old. 30 and 31, I think Terry and Debo are.
yeah.
And they can get out of Debo after this season for 0 dead cap because of the reconstruction they did with him.
Alright.
Whiskey,
He just wants to be
you
on
got
the
to
podcast.
edit this
Yeah,
out,
I
bro.
think it's good now. You're gonna have a fun time recording that.
But anyways, yeah, I wouldn't mind one of the Commanders, but we have so many holes defensively, in my opinion, that the value at corner and edge rusher will be too high for them to go with like a luxury position looking at the future.
Yeah.
When I think they're in win now mode. Like,
Yeah.
they went out of their way. They traded for a second receiver. They traded for a stud left tackle to protect their franchise quarterback on a rookie deal. So I think they're going to be looking at what will help the team right now, even if it's, maybe not necessarily the best long-term play.
Yeah.
If that were they would find the fattest defensive lineman that they could pick.
There is a big
Stop
boy.
The tush push.
The tush push.
There is a big boy.
Oh, yeah, that like
He's
500.
like 400. Yeah.
He's like 500 pounds on
460,
this.
480 or something like
Ran
that.
like a 5'2" at 460 something. Like 28-inch vert at 460 something is crazy.
Wow.
Do you think we could beat him?
In what?
The 40.
Nah, he's got me in that.
No.
I got him in the vert, but he's got me in the 40.
No, I can't run fast.
I'm a slow guy.
I would imagine I would run like a 5'8".
I ran a 5'2" in high school, so I'm probably like 5'3", 5'4" now. I'm in better shape, but I'm a lot older, so.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for a lineman, though.
Yeah, it's
Slash
not
tight end.
bad. Yeah, it's not bad. Not too bad.
All right, so give us a hotter
Give us-
take
yeah,
on
give
that.
us
All right, you guys want like
steamy hot,
scolding hot?
scolding hot.
Hot as, yeah, it's hot as you
All
can
right,
make.
all right.
You like girlfriend or shower with your girlfriend hot?
Oh
that
man,
hot.
I got you, baby. For the 3rd consecutive year, a rookie tight end finishes number 1 overall in fantasy scoring.
Which one?
tough.
Oh, that's up to you. I didn't want to name any names,
I did hear.
but it's gonna be a rookie tight end, number 1
I did hear
overall. That's my hot
Loveland.
take.
Loveland's getting a lot of love, and I'm hearing.
Yeah, I mean
that
they're
he might
both
make
like
it
almost
number one.
locks for the first round right now, in my
Yeah.
opinion. So
Yeah.
depending on landing spot, I think if one of them ends up in Denver, that could be absolute money straight away. So.
Yeah.
How much? Evan, I think you're selling Evan a little bit too short on that.
I do like Evan
guess I
Ingram. That's my man. I do love him, but the track record of staying healthy is not ideal.
What about the Jags? One of them is the Jags.
see
Okay.
Jags.
Jags is a good landing spot. I agree with that. They need a second target, in my opinion, like real bad.
Yeah.
like real bad. I love Brian Thomas. I own him in as many leagues as possible. But man, for the sake of Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas,
Yeah.
they need somebody else to catch the
And
football.
the entire
because-
Jacksonville community.
yeah, seriously, Duval County, man, they need some help.
Duval.
All right, I can go with. But the other guy I wanted to bring up was Arroyo. I never even heard of this
Elijah
guy,
Arroyo.
but I decided to
Who's
watch
that?
him.
I never heard.
That's
of
the
him.
guy I picked last week.
For what?
The tight end.
He moves like a receiver. He's a very agile, very quick guy. I don't mind him either. I mean, he's in that tier with Harold Fannin and Mason Taylor for me, where like if they hit the right situation, I think any of them could be diamond in the rough kind of potential. I'm a big fan of this tight end class, and that's kind of part of the reason. Like even though I think Warren and Loveland will be good, I just can't really justify spending a first round pick in dynasty drafts on them right now with, maybe 4 tight ends going in the first 60 picks. So if there's 2 more, 3 more in the second round, early third, I'm just not gonna, go out of my way to add a tight end unless I have, if I'm starting Juwan Johnson right now, like that's what I'm gonna be going into week 1 with. Okay,
Yeah.
Tyler Warren's sitting there and he's got
Yeah.
top 12 draft capital or whatever. Yeah, I'm biting the bullet, but
I don't know, man. If it were me, I'm thinking if I got a 50-50 shot of getting the tight end that's going to score the most points this year, that's worth the 101 to me.
well, I mean, if you believe in that, right? Like trade for the 101 and the 102 and just hope you hit.
Well, that's the thing is he didn't tell us which one's gonna hit, and if I
It
would
could even
imagine
be Elijah Royal. I can't tell the future. I just know it's going to be a rookie.
You're just going to have to take all 3.
You got to take about 6 of them. Just load them up.
yeah,
Well,
there's some teams that could need him.
I was thinking it would probably be a first rounder, but then you think about it, the 2023 it was whatever his face was. Laporta, he wasn't a first rounder. He was a second rounder.
Second rounder,
Yeah.
It's got to go to a team that utilizes him. That's the important thing, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this time last year, I was praising Ben Sennett, and then Washington drafted him, and it looked like a gravy landing spot. It was like, oh, perfect.
Mhm.
Hybrid tight end. Zach Ertz is the only human alive in the tight end room, and Zach Ertz just doesn't come off the field all season.
Yeah.
Just refuses.
Yeah.
Gets hurt for 3 games. John Bates. We're just running the ball now. You're just blocking.
Yeah.
Poor Sinnott.
Poor Senate.
Hey, he caught the fake punt in the NFC Championship game, so that's cool.
They got him in. They got him in because he's on the. Well, you playing special teams anyway. Might as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, he got Tresslay's moment. He got a good catch in a playoff game.
Yeah. Good for him.
All right. This guy.
You got anything
I
else?
don't have nothing else. I could make something up,
You don't have to.
but yeah, it would be bad.
I got one. I got a good one.
Okay.
Basil Tootin
Okay.
is one of the first 4 running backs drafted.
I like that.
And he
I
was
like
mocked to
that
be
take.
he's mocked to be like 3rd or 4th round, right?
Yeah, he is.
You think he'll go in the 2nd or so?
I mean, in this case scenario, he would have to go in the 2nd round, in my opinion. But it'll be interesting because I think Jainty and Hampton are like absolute locks to be the first 2 running backs taken. And then, Travion Henderson's getting a lot of smoke as a first round pick. So if he sneaks in there, that means Tootin over Caleb Johnson, Quinshon Judkins, Cam Scatterbo, Devin Neal,
Yeah.
Jordan James.
That's a lot.
It's quite the jump. I think he's more likely to be probably like the 8th to 10th running back off the board.
Yeah.
But man, I just keep going back and watching him go
You
through.
just like his name.
It's not even the name, dude. Just watch his combine, okay? His drill where they set up like the pads as linemen and they make you cut and stuff. The man's feet are just ridiculous quick. It is unreal how fast his lower body can shift without his upper body moving.
Nate thinks he's a scout.
This is what I do, man. I break it down for you guys.
He's not.
Hey, that's what makes this hobby fun, though. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I'm into it. It's
Well, and that's the thing is, even at the end of the day, those guys for these organizations get paid the same amount, or they get a shit ton of money to know the same amount as we do. Because really, if somebody knew what they were talking about, they would never miss. But people always miss. So
yeah. I mean, it's nothing's foolproof, right? Like there's so much more to football than just being talented.
Mhm.
It's you never know just how well you can even know a player, right? Like
Yep.
you go back to the Raiders drafting Jamarcus Russell number 1. Obviously they did their homework. They probably sat down with him 600 times, knowing he was the only option at number 1. And then he shows up training camp and he won't even read the playbook.
Yep.
And you're like, what?
Dra-
I mean,
drafting's like a box of chocolates.
yep.
What movie's that from?
I think Moana.
I heard that.
It could be.
Life's
I
like
thought
a
it was
box.
Castaway.
Are you for real?
Basil Tootin, though.
Basil
I
Tootin.
never heard of this guy until you told me about him.
After you have basil tomato,
Oof.
you be tootin'.
It's not spelled the same.
Oh well. T-U-T-E-N or
I
something.
think I should put him on the next spelling bee.
Oh,
Don't put me on the spelling bee, dude.
I think I'll get it. I think I'd get it.
I'm bad at spelling.
B-A-H-S-U-L.
I think it's BHAYSUL. T-U-T-E-N. That's my guess.
I wasn't gonna try the last name. But,
Two.
dude, this guy reminds me of your other buddy, your other guy, Achan.
Yeah, see,
right?
yeah, H-Am. You nailed it.
That he had the same kind of thing going on. Like, I think people weren't really too much on him until he ran that ridiculous 40.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, when you watch Achan run it, he's like, we said it before, he looks like he's returning a punt.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
Like,
wide open.
Yeah, immediately.
That's what it is with so many just untouched touchdowns for 40 yards.
Yeah, and that's what it makes it tough to kind of scout, right? And that's why, like, I don't really honestly like looking at his film nearly as much as I enjoyed looking at the drills and stuff and watching him go through the exact same scenarios as every other running back, right? Because obviously, playing for different teams and stuff, like Aston Janty saw 10-man boxes all year.
Right.
Basil Tootin probably saw 6-man boxes most of the year. You know, all his highlight breakaway runs, where we're talking about that, is it's hard to really know anything about it besides, oh yeah, this dude can fly and he's quick and he hits the hole hard. So,
But I think there would be a difference between like maybe Caleb Johnson, where this guy,
yeah.
they always have a great offensive line, but Basil Tootin's playing at Florida State. Like, do they have anybody going in the first round on their line? So like, if he's getting wide open lanes, it's probably just because he can see the play unfolding before everybody else.
That's the hope, and it's exactly what you said about Achan. I'm not trying to hype him up to the point where he's going to be a guy who scores you 70 fantasy points in a week. You're probably not going to get that from anybody ever, and I don't even think he's going to hit that high of a ceiling. Right, like his most likely outcome is, on the high end, is like Chase Brown probably. Like, you can sneak a year, maybe two, of back end top 12 production out of him if he hits the ceiling.
Yeah.
And obviously it could be more. Like I would have never guessed Achan was going to be a top 8-ish running back to start his career. But just the feet, man. It's unreal how you can watch some guys be the exact same shape and size and just have no control over their body, and then watch somebody like him who everything is so precise and it looks calculated, and it's split-second reaction. So,
to me, this guy though, I will say I disagree with you a little bit on that as far as him not being. This is the guy that you want to take later on that could be an actual stud. Like,
right.
He has that kind of ability.
Yeah.
Rather than, is there Neal? Is that who you took last week?
Devin Neal.
Yeah.
Devin Neal. Like, I'm not quite seeing it with him. Like, he's probably a rotational guy.
Right.
So I would definitely rather have Basil Tootin because he's got that.
Yeah, and honestly,
that
like
upside.
there's something to that about, especially like the range where he's going to go in dynasty drafts, right? It's okay. Do I want a guy who could give me 7 or 8 carries every week and occasionally fall in the end zone, or a guy who can give me 6 to 7 carries every week and he could take 180 yards at any given moment? And something like that. It's if he's a rookie and he does that twice in the first 5 weeks. Is he Bucky Irving? That's the YouTube videos, and it's first round pick worth now, and it's.
Then the coaches are going to start giving the ball more, so it's not going to be
Hopefully,
7
right?
8 carries.
Yeah.
You might have to wait on it, but yeah,
Hopefully he's good. It is a hot take. I'm not trying to pump him up to the point where people are reaching on him or anything, but if he goes to a spot where I think he could earn some.
About it.
I think you should do it.
Yeah, but
Have the one. He is faster than Ashton. We don't know that because we'll never see Janty run a 40, but I would imagine, yes, he's faster than every running back in this class. I wish we could see Travis Hunter run a 40. I'd be very interested to see where
he didn't do it at his pro day thing or nothing?
No, because it wasn't a pro day. It was a showcase.
Showcase. Huh?
Yes, he just wanted to showcase his abilities.
Why didn't he go to the combine? Is that the reason?
He did go.
He went. He just didn't. He didn't do any of the
Oh, he didn't do any of the drills.
No.
The physical stuff.
Nope. Showed up and just did all the question stuff and.
He did the interviews, the important stuff.
Yeah, and that is the more important stuff. Like, Janty did all that as well.
Yeah.
Showed up and just did the interviews. I wonder if NFL teams question him about that. Like, why did you feel like you didn't need to do any of the drills or run the 40 and stuff like that?
I think they know.
I gave you
that.
3 reasons: Heisman, Blitnikoff, and whatever the other one is for the best corner.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he just comes in with his trophies, right? It's just like, hey, Number one, right here. All of them.
I'm pretty sure they know why though.
Yeah, they know why, right? But it's like,
What are you gonna tell us?
yeah, what are you gonna say? Like,
Yeah.
are you just gonna say you're confident in your abilities, or you're gonna be like, oh, I have more to lose than gain from doing that? Because if that's your answer, like, that is the answer, right? That's the
Yeah,
obvious answer.
right.
It's, I have nothing left to prove. I can only hurt myself by coming out here running a 4.55 if I'm Travis Hunter.
It'd be hilarious if you just said, "I'm just here so I don't get fined."
Listen, draft me if you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the best player in the league.
You're gonna regret it. Not drafting you.
Have you heard some of the ridiculous questions that they ask those guys though?
Oh, dude.
No,
It isn't.
For
If you can change anything about yourself, what would it be?
Shit. Maybe, second. Bigger dick.